You can take this approach one step further and even transcribe a full song. In order to do this transcription, you'll use a similar process, but you'll use one silent MIDI track per instrument. You'll label each track with the instrument name, and you'll transcribe each part in the piano roll. The first step is to create a form track, just like you did in the previous section. Then you'll create a blank region for every instrument in every relevant section. Then you transcribe each instrument's part in the piano roll. Let's look in the studio to see what this looks like. Now that you've seen how you can use one blank MIDI track to create a form track, we can extend this technique even further, and we can do it for every instrument in a song to eventually create a full transcription of that song in Soundtrap. That's what you're seeing here. This is this entire song transcribed by instrument. Let's look at how to do it. This project that you're seeing here is essentially what you'll see at the end once you've transcribed everything. Let's dig in to see what we've got going here. So what I've done is I've created MIDI tracks for all the relevant instruments and parts of this song. You'll notice I have my form track here where I've labeled all the sections like we've seen before. But then below that I have all the instruments: mandolin, marimba, plucks, bass, etc. So the first thing I would do is create a blank region for every instrument whenever that instrument is playing. This can also include vocals. So let's look at the lead vocal part, Sanjana's vocal, the female vocal. Every place that there's a blue section, that means there's Sanjana singing in that section. The way that I did this is I went through the song, I listened, and whenever she's singing, I created a blank region in that section. As we listen, you'll see anytime there's a blue region, you'll hear Sanjana's voice. And any place that it's blank, you will not hear her voice. So that's the first step, creating blank regions to say, this instrument plays here. You have not yet told it what notes it plays or what the part is, but you've marked out for yourself where each instrument plays and where the different sections start and stop. You'll notice most of the time these sections align with your form track. The next thing to do is actually go into those regions and add the notes in the piano roll to start transcribing. That's what I've done here with the marimba, plucks, and bass transcription tracks. So let's take a closer look at the marimba. I'm gonna also make this bigger, and then I'm gonna go and double click here so I can see the piano roll, and I'm even gonna zoom in. So here are all the notes that this marimba plays, and I did this painstakingly by going into this track and listening to the track, playing along with my keyboard, and figuring out those notes and adjusting those notes on the piano roll. Eventually, I got to where I had each of those notes that I basically pulled and detected from the audio file using my own ear and my own skills and manually writing this MIDI part. Let's listen to that really quick. And if I turn the volume up on this and solo it, you'll now hear I have that MIDI marimba part completely independent of the audio file. So eventually, once I've transcribed everything, I could go up here and I could mute the master audio track and hit play, and I would hear the whole song. So this approach is definitely an advanced approach, but it shows you how you can use Soundtrap in a pretty powerful way to create transcriptions and really understand songs that you're studying.